inspired you to build there?
Well, inspiration's a funny thing. It comes from a moment, and it also comes from a lifetime. So there are many strands of music and woodwork and upcycling that have run through my life for a long time. But then the inspiration was a sort of a moment when all of those things kind of came together, when I learned that it was a seemingly unending source of pianos being thrown away in Edinburgh.
I've been playing with Tim, the other co-director, in a band called Sync for 10 years, and it was really through the band's interactions with the audience and the ground that drew me to the idea of the piano drum in the first place.
Well, the resonancy and the resonator were two sort of parts of this installation in the Leith Theatre, and I suppose in one way they're a bit like the two directors of the Pianodrome, myself and Matt. The resonancy was more of a sort of exploratory period where artists, musicians and community groups could try out the space and try new work and present some of that work to very low pressure audiences. And then the Resonator Festival, well, I mean, you can see what's going on behind me. That's really mostly my co-director Matt's doing, where it's like big events, loads of musicians, loads of punters paying for tickets, and it's really the kind of driving force that allows us then to move on to the next installation. Well, there have been hundreds of people involved in the Pianodrome project since the idea came about. There have been literally hundreds of people volunteering to pull pianos apart and to run events and do all kinds of things, from social media stuff to front of house stuff to playing concerts, to you name it. And then, I mean, if you then include all the audiences, we've had to date, I think, something in the region of 30,000 people go through the Pianodrome.
The Resonator Festival is an opportunity for us to use this amazing space to bring together musicians from Edinburgh and beyond to put on beautiful shows in this space. And we're really excited because we have the use of the balcony as well as the piano drum itself, so you can fit loads of extra people in. There's a really good bird's eye view from the balcony of the space. It's just a great spot.
Great, so last day already, and I think it's been a great month. It's been a bit cold, but I think there's enough people have taken up the spaces behind the stage and done some experimenting with things that they wanted to work on.
Oh, I think it's been amazing. It's been an incredible month, really, of a diverse range of performances and acts, and lots of vibrancy that's come into the building as well, lots of different audiences. It's been amazing. Huge amount of energy that's come into Leith Theatre. It's been wonderful.
Is the Pianodrome as it is now, does that fulfil your vision of what you wanted to achieve?
I could not possibly have dreamed that the Pianodrome would be here in the Leith Theatre, being animated by such wonderful musicians as the Tinderbox Orchestra in tonight, and we've got a full audience, and the vibe is just incredible.
Can I ask why you brought me in here? I've been waiting in here for ages.
But the fact that you witnessed Victoria Harrington murdered right in front of you isn't a good enough reason?
I think she's dead.
So how did you know her?
We were on the same course at uni. I met her for the first time a little under a year ago.
Good friends?
Yeah, good friends.
Am I right in thinking that you were only ever just friends?
Yeah, but I wanted more.
Okay, and did you ever tell her this?
No, never. I wanted to, but never could.
And why's that?
Right after I started getting feelings for her, she started hanging around with this guy, Connor. I can never get her on her own.
Is that the same Connor that was at her party?
Yeah, that's the one.
You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Can I speak to you in private?
That's a bit rude, isn't it, Archie? At the dinner table. You got something to say, why don't you just say it in front of everyone?
Doesn't matter.
So how did you feel about him? Connor, that is.
I didn't really know him. It's weird though. I hadn't really ever seen him before. And I definitely never seen him with Victoria. But when they started hanging out, they just seemed so close.
Well, maybe because they were family.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, their mothers are sisters. They're cousins.
So that's why they were so close.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm such an idiot.
Well, maybe you didn't like the thought of someone being closer to her than you.
What?
Oh, maybe you thought if you couldn't have her, then no one else could.
That's ridiculous. They were cousins, for God's sake.
Well, up until 30 seconds ago, you didn't know that. Archie, did you kill Victoria?
I can't believe just what happened.
Surely this is getting a bit old, eh, Connor?
Excuse me?
Drop the act. I know it was you. It's obvious you're the killer.
Bullshit! It wasn't me. You've came in here and not asked me a single question yet.
That's what you want? Fine. You want to play the question game? What are you hiding?
I'm not hiding anything. This is a waste of time. Let me out now so I can catch the killer.
You were in the army, right? Not so long ago.
Yeah. And what's that got to do with anything?
I'm just was doing my job. Were you in the war?
Yeah, I was.
Says in your file here, you were good. Won a medal for marksmanship.
Got it in your file, right? Why you even bother asking?
I wanted to hear it coming from you, Connor. You know, war changes people. The person that leaves is not the same person that comes back.
You talk like you know me. You don't know shit about me.
I know Victoria was your only family. I know that you weren't that close and that you hadn't seen each other in years. Once you came back, you were all alone. Victoria was too busy being a celebrity. You didn't have your brothers in arms with you. Not all of you made it. You were angry, very angry. She wasn't there when you needed her, so you decided to...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
She's going to find us.
Don't worry. It's not going to happen.
Anne? Vicky, wait! She didn't deserve to die like this. Yes, tragic. Now, when was the last time that you saw Victoria before this gathering? I hadn't seen her in 5 years. You claim to be her best friend, but you haven't had any contact with her in 5 years. I've had contact with her, I just haven't seen her. Haven't seen her in a long time. Okay. She's your best friend, or so you say. You've had contact with her, but you haven't seen her in the past 5 years. Now, what is the reason for that? You had bad blood.
Vicky never forgave me.
Forgave you for what?
Connor and me, she never liked that we were close. We actually had a relationship too, you know? We never started anything official, but there you go. She found out about us and all of a sudden, just like that, she cut me out of her life.
So you felt guilty?
I did at the time. I just wish she had forgiven me. I've avoided Connor ever since.
But now you're jealous.
What?
You're jealous.
Jealous of what?
Jealous of Archie. Girl catches her best friend and her nearest and dearest getting a little bit too close for comfort. So it's goodbye Anne, hello University, and hello Archie. Jealousy. It's not a good look on you, Anne. I wouldn't recommend it. Gives you wrinkles.
I didn't kill her. I wouldn't do that.
Never said you did. Never said you would. I'm just trying to put the pieces together here. I think I've heard everything that I need to hear now. After talking to all the suspects, it's obvious who the killer is. They all had their reasons to harm Victoria, but only one of them is capable of murder. They were so close, it's hard to believe that they would turn to murder. Only someone so cold-hearted could do this. It's time to end this and get Victoria the justice she deserves.
Just got one question for you, Detective. Why have you brought us all in here while our friend got murdered? This is sick.
Well, as you know, I've been conducting an investigation into Victoria's death, and after interviewing everyone in this room, it's obvious who the killer is.
And how could you possibly know who the killer is? It's only been one day.
Yeah, you couldn't possibly know that.
Well, like I say, it's pretty obvious who the killer is. All of you have your reasons to hurt Victoria, but only one of you could stoop so low as to kill her. Now there's the method of murder and the reason that you chose the dinner party.
Okay then, who did it? If you know for certain, why haven't you arrested them? Instead of giving us this monologue bullshit.
Where's the fun in that? But if you really want the answer, I'll tell you. Hello, hi, welcome. Hi, nice to see you. It threw you off, didn't it? After all those years without talking to them, then all of a sudden you're invited to a dinner party. It was the perfect time for some revenge.
Anne, come and get a seat.
But you weren't planning on doing anything at first, were you? You wanted to see why you were here. It wasn't until Connor had his episode that you made up your mind.
Why don't you clean up the mess, Anne?
Yeah, and I'll get you another drink too. Thanks.
The fact that after all this time she still hadn't forgiven you hurt. So you did it. You poisoned Victoria, didn't you, Anne? So, Anne, anything to say for yourself?
You're making that up. You couldn't possibly know that.
Anne, give up the act. I have the proof. I found the vial in your bag.
I didn't mean to kill her, okay? I only meant to put in enough to hurt her. And then that happened at dinner and I lost control, okay? I put in more than I should have. But I never wanted to kill her. I swear.
How could you do that? She was your best friend. You grew up together. What the hell, Anne?
Come quietly, Anne. There's no need to make any more of a fuss.
I'm so sorry. I never wanted to take her from you. I was just so mad and upset.
We are joined here within the nest of black wool, under the roots of the tree of life, at the end of the world, with the Slavic god Veles. Welcome. So, Veles, ancient god of the earth, water, and the underworld, protector of musicians, punisher of oathbreakers, guardian of cattle, etc., etc. What first interested you in joining the Celtic pantheon, and Beltane Fire Festival in particular. I see. Some commentators say the inclusion of the Slavic elder god reflects the modern multicultural nature of Beltane, and indeed of Scotland. A festival put together by people of all backgrounds, class, gender, proclivity, ages, inclination, etc., etc. Quite. And now we will begin our journey between the cracks in the pavement, within the eye of a dead fish, and the movement of a sleeping dog's paw through a darkened mirror, behind the veil of reality itself, to the traditional, ancient fire arch. Fellas, thank you for your time, and for Beltane Fire Society, see you next Tuesday.
Let's
Shawa Baba Mak. Shawa Baba Mak. Shawa Baba Mak. Shawa Baba Mak. Shawa Baba Mak.
Shawa Baba Mak.
Shawa Baba Mak.
Shawa Baba Mak. Shawa Baba Mak.
Anne.